Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Brains at Work, designing work for every brain. My name is Carla. I work with people and companies to change the way we work, one neuron at the time. Today, I would like to start from a very common scenario. Imagine you are having a coffee at the coffee machine and you are discussing with a colleague. You start a conversation, the person doesn't seem to understand, but you keep going, and at some point they don't understand anymore, so they ask questions, you respond. There is a sort of a misalignment and nobody understands what has been said anymore, and all of a sudden frustration shows up on the face of you both, and a subtle discontentment is in the air. So you leave the conversation, you go back to your desk knowing that something there happened, that somebody or both are frustrated and maybe even offended for something that was said in a way that didn't land right. So you stay the whole day with this sense of,
What happened right there? I am not sure. May I have hurt my colleague? I don't understand. How do I go back from this?
and here we go. This is a situation that we have all encountered, and for some reason, we also have found an explanation for that. For example, we may have said, oh, but he is a manager. I mean, he has to come back to me and apologize, or the contrary, I am under this person, so I necessarily have to go and apologize, even though I know that I haven't done anything wrong, I haven't said anything wrong, and so on. This is common, more common than you think. And there is an explanation for that. There is a framework for that, better said. This framework is called the double empathy framework.
Oh God, it's another empathy thing. There we go again.
No, stay with me. Don't go away. Don't go away. Don't be irritated so quickly. Let me explain. When I talk about the double empathy, I'm talking about a very popular psychological theory developed and divulgated by Damian Milton in 2012. That's where it talks about double empathy, precisely in the explanation of the social misunderstanding that frequently goes with neurodiversity in the workplace.
Did you hear that well?
In one simple explanation, Dr. Milton is moving the responsibility of the failure of a conversation from the typical side where it is, so on the neurodiverse, because they don't understand, they this, then that, to both persons, which is exactly what we saw in the scenario I gave you before. When a social interaction falls short on empathy.
That's exactly the point.
It's a conversation, so it's an exchange. There cannot be other way to communicate than giving and getting back. It's there in this exchange that something went wrong on both sides, because on both sides there is a lack of communicative skills and a lack of codes of interaction. So what does this mean? Is that if we keep a community of people that are homogeneous, for example, all neurotypical, they are probably getting along very well. Now let's introduce in them somebody that comes from a different community, so a neurodiverse. And then the situation immediately changed, because the codes of communication that were so often used and embedded in the schematic of the neurotypical are not applicable to the neurodiverse. And the same thing goes in the other way. If you take a community of neurodiverse people, they probably communicate and talk about certain topics. You take them into a community of neurotypical, and there the clash happens. So where is the responsibility? Is it the fault of the neurodiverse? Often this is what we believe. And here is where we make a fundamental mistake, my friends, because quantity doesn't equal quality.
How many times have you heard this? How many times have you written this into a slide?
Is not because you are more numerous that this gives you an advantage. It's not because a whole IT company is run by male engineers that a woman engineer in there is gonna suffer. No, it's gonna suffer because you guys don't adapt. That's the point, because she is adapting. She is probably doing her best. In the same way, a neurodiverse team member is probably doing his best to run after your expectation. So now, do you want to keep your standards up there? Do you want to keep your expectation aligned with you, thinking that you are the best? Or do you want to create a common ground for innovation to start? Because this is what we are talking about, innovation.
Whenever you leave space for things to happen, they will.
Whenever you throw a stone in a lake, waves will come. If you don't do nothing, nothing will happen. This is a very basic rule of energy. Energy is never lost, it's always transformed. If you don't generate any energy, there is no transformation, no change, no improvement. So, what do you want to do? Do you want to stay on the side of the ones who are psycho-rigid and simply do things in the way the operating model dictate? Or do you want to do something and look into another direction to generate more innovation for your team, for your company, for your business? It's up to you. Until then, I will see you in the next episode.